Is from the great state of Texas. I think you're recognized, sir.
Thank you, Chairman Bilirakis. Administrator Fugate, we've been plagued in Texas by wildfires for the past year. Of the disasters FEMA faces, wildfires are one that actually can be mitigated while they're going on. So I have a two-part question for you to begin with. First, can you outline what FEMA's responses have been to the wildfires in Texas, and how has FEMA and the federal government as a whole cooperated on bringing the resources necessary to mitigate those fires as they're going on and afterwards?
Well, the two pieces of this, I'll start with the last one first, because the lead agency for coordinating federal assistance is the U.S. Fire Service, Forestry Services, Agriculture through the interagency, and we support them there. On the other side, the financial side of this has been through the issuance of a record number of fire management grants that are fire-specific, as well as a major presidential disaster declaration focused on individual assistance in some of the more recent fires with a large number of homes. What's happening in Texas, though, the wildfires are merely a symptom. What we got is a sustained long-period drought that doesn't seem to be ending. And one of the challenges that I'm finding that I experienced in Florida, that our fire management grant programs are really designed about very large centralized fires. And what we have in Texas is a lot of little fires that if you don't get them knocked down quick will grow to the big fires. So there's quite a bit of activity ongoing across Texas. A lot of it's being done by volunteer fire departments that are not tied to these fire management grants. I've had discussions with the State Director of Emergency Management there, named Kidd, and I've asked my staff to come back and look at some of these issues. But my concern in Texas is this is not a situation that is improving, and it's not a fire by fire. It is the underlying drought. And until that drought breaks, my concern is the wildfire situation in Texas will continue to be active, and that we have to continue to look at our tools providing assistance both through our interagency process with the U.S. Forest Service, as well as the financial assistance through fire management grants and declarations.
Well, short of praying for rain, I would appreciate if you or your staff could get with my office and the rest of the Texas delegation to see what, if anything, can be done to improve that situation. I also want to move over to the EAS just for a second and shift gears. You've got the test coming up. I would imagine, having been in broadcasting since I was 16 years old, I see firsthand the flaws of the EBS and what it has evolved into. Is FEMA looking at, with the advent of new technologies like cell phones, text messaging, and the Internet, coming up with a new technology to either replace or supplement EAS?
Yes, sir. In fact, that was some of the remarks that Ranking Member Richardson and the Chairman are talking about with what we call IPALS, the Integrated Public Warning and Alert System. It's taking advantage of newer technology and using a common alerting protocol to go across all devices. Part of this is working with the FCC, where personal location alert notifications can be geographically tagged to your cell phone based upon your location, as well as the ability to now operate across a lot of different technologies.
And my concern with that, and as we saw in the earthquake up here, the cell phone network, especially in time of disaster, is substantially more fragile than we would like to believe.
That's correct. And again, if we were trying to use the cell phones for the way you would be doing voice traffic, it would not work. But cell phones are also radios, and the cell towers actually have broadcast functions that you can actually send one-way transmissions to, and that's the benefit of that. The other benefit is, rather than alerting everybody in an area, we can specify those areas that are geocoded to the threat. So when a tornado, you remember how we used to have to alert the whole county? Now we can give a more definitive.
Now, is that based on tower location or GPS from the phone, or both?
It's based upon the phone knowing where it's at,
right,
whether it's GPS or triangulation. We don't track that information. It just tells everything in that tower area to alert, and it doesn't track the actual phones. So the phones are self-aware, but the system doesn't monitor the phones. It just broadcasts to that specific area.
All right. I appreciate your responses. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your hard work, and I'll yield back.
Thank you. Now